I'm Charlie, and today on Munching Around Milwaukee, my guest is JMatt. JMatt. JMatt is a prominent content creator here in Milwaukee, a great advocate for the city of Milwaukee. He doesn't really call himself an influencer. I'm not sure he even likes the term, but his impact on the social media life in the city is undeniable. Founder of HashtagMKE and its companion website, HashtagMKE.com. And we'll get to that in a minute, and we'll talk about how we got here. First, I want to recognize our sponsor, which is FreshChef Meal Prep. Chef Austin Vetter is the brainchild behind that. So we thank Austin. They provide food on shows when we have non-chefs. And no offense, but you're a non-chef.
I'm not a chef, and okay. I admit that fully.
Well, we're good eaters, though. So today, Austin has provided us with several things. First this is a Cajun salmon pasta. All right, looks delicious. So, JMatt, if you want to get started. This is a summer squash grain bowl. And there's a sauce that goes on that, and we'll put it on in just a second.
It's going to get saucy.
And the final thing is, this is peanut chicken lo mein. So you got a little peanut sauce that's going to go on top of this. And we're going to enjoy this. And Tom, you can join in. And one of the things you're known for is going into restaurants and ordering the hottest thing there is.
Yep.
All right. So in talking to you, I know that you have not been to Steny's.
For their spicy wings, correct.
For their spicy wings. So Steny's is a little bar restaurant over in Walker's Point, not too far from here. And we picked up some wings. We picked up the lemon pepper for Tom because he's pedestrian. And then there's a thermometer in the bar that shows you each rung of how hot everything is, and the thermometer's about here. And then the Scary Jerry wings are here, and we're having the Scary Jerry wings. So I'm going to put on the peanut sauce here, and JMatt, you're the guest, so.
I was waiting to tell you revealed everything, because it's like, is everything the same, or am I 30ing everything? And 30ing is what we're doing. I like that.
Well, Tom will eat whatever there's, whatever is missing.
So half, and a portion, got it.
Right. All right, so as we're doling this out, talk about, you're from Milwaukee, right? You're born and raised?
Technically born in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Grew up in Brookfield, and then
Milwaukee-ish.
Milwaukee is my chosen home of a decade almost.
Okay. So you were the Milwaukee suburbs, and so you've been around the city of Milwaukee for years. Here.
Yeah.
So where along the line did your interest in creating content? You started doing videos when you were how old?
Video came out as like a primary source of content, I want to say in 2014 or 15. People weren't really doing video content for a while. You could get away with social content not being video. I would say played around with it more intentionally in 2017. And then got real traction in 2020.
Okay, so 2020, things start to take off. So thank you, Tom. What's the genesis of #MKE?
So I have lived in other cities after college and whatnot. So I lived in Marquette, Michigan for college. Then I moved to Denver for about a year, and then lived in Madison late 20s. So one thing I noticed in a lot of these communities was kind of that networking community. And when I left Milwaukee before college, Milwaukee had a vibrant networking community. When I returned, it was harder to figure out when networking events were. They were very last minute in promoting their events, and I just was getting frustrated with it and figured I could just create my own thing.
Well, you have, and it's quite vibrant. So one of the things that you do is that you you go to restaurants, you go to events, you talk to people on the street, you do a lot of different things promoting the city, but what you don't do is you don't rate restaurants and businesses, and you provide that information for the public.
Yeah.
So was that your original goal?
Yeah, rating and reviews are so subjective. Like, I could love something that you hate, you could hate something that I love. And if I review something and that persuades you to not try something, I don't want to do that. And eventually, if you're giving reviews, you could theoretically do all positive. But eventually, people are going to wonder what you didn't like.
Right.
If I don't give my opinion on any of it, and I'm more so trying to support local and encourage you to go out and make your own opinion, chances are, if you like the cuisine they offer, like if you're into sushi and I feature 5 places for sushi, you're going to go check out probably all 5 if you've never been.
Right. So it's a great service that's not actually a service, because I mean it's there for the public, and you provide that. And that one that I just saw you did not too long ago was the lighting of the east side of the Hoan Bridge.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing for the city.
Yep.
There wasn't anything. I mean,
it was a very simple video. It was very in the moment that I said
Right.
to myself, ooh, there's so many creators that probably got content that are just going to be way better than mine. This very quick panning video will work if I'm first. So I threw it out there, it did okay, and now all the drone creators have very visually appealing content out there.
I wonder if we could get a drone in here.
I mean, yes.
What do you think, Tom? Tom wants a drone in here.
Yeah, weave in and out of the light fixtures.
That'd be cool. So yeah, that whole thing of promoting the city. Now I'm like you. I promote the city. I'm not. You're doing something different. I'm talking to leaders, and we're cooking and eating a lot. I mean, that's why I look like I do. But it's the same thing. We're promoting the city.
Yep.
In our own ways and in different ways, but the commonality of what we do is this is a pretty nice place to live. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of interesting people, events. I mean, we got a Major League ballpark. We got a recent NBA champion. Got Division I basketball, football. No, we don't have Division I football here, do we?
Admirals are doing pretty well, even though it's not like D1 or out of what the equivalent NHL is.
I think they're the AHL.
They're
I think.
they're
there's
hockey.
the minor league. So we have a lot of events, social, and one of the things that I did want to ask you about, and then I think we're gonna have to get the wings. Are you gonna eat something so we can get your wings?
I was having a conversation, and I was like, I'm not gonna eat.
Well, we're 2 guys at a bar,
I get it. I get it.
You're much too polite. Your mother raised you well. So one of the things that is interesting to me is the genesis of the food scene here, and how it has, since we moved here in about 2010, it's gone from to this is pretty good. So in your view, as someone who has been in and around the Milwaukee area most of your life, what neighborhoods have you seen gone from maybe like a food desert to a food oasis?
I'd push back just a little. I would say because of social media and the way that it is today, we're more aware of all the pockets of cuisine throughout the city. I think it's existed for a while. We just weren't aware of it because that's not what was being featured or as common as it is. But for places where food, I think it's existed. I didn't know of it. Southside. And all the Mexican restaurants, like authentic Mexican cuisine.
Yeah.
It's been there for a while. I just wasn't aware of it as much as I am now.
Yeah, I used to live in Shorewood, and my view of the city was North Shore, Shorewood, Whitefish Bay, and you kind of venture maybe to the the tip of the city. Now living downtown, my view is south.
Yeah.
And west out to Walker's Point and living here in the 3rd Ward and the 2nd Street. So there's so many places, and to me there's a lot of interesting smaller independent restaurants. And if you talk to David Marcus was on the show last week, who owns he's part of the Bensons group. They own Onesto, Smoke Shack, Blue Bat, Bombers, Edison, and Bridgewater. How'd I do, David?
Bridgewater was the only one I was thinking of, and I was like, is it the right group for that?
Yes, Bridgewater is. But his view is that the chains didn't come here. They went to Chicago, and as they're doing their due diligence, Milwaukee just doesn't jump out as a place where chain restaurants go to flourish. So that gave an opportunity to these smaller, independent ones, and that has just grown. And you see all these chefs who have started, have gone to different places. So when Ardent closes with Justin Carlisle, Mary Kasman opens up Purslane in the same building, and she's an excellent chef, and so you're not really missing a beat in the building. So
I think that's a good point. Like, there's not a lot of chain restaurants that I can think of. There certainly are in Milwaukee, but the amount of small business, small restaurant, local restaurant by far outweighs how many chain restaurants have come to town.
No, and I think David's point is well taken. You have a lot of people that come from Chicago. Mm-hmm. He was in Chicago in the Let Us Entertain You group. He worked there. But they're just not coming here. Mm-hmm. You can name, one hand the number of chains. But you can also name 5, 6 different food restaurant groups. Bartolotta's, Black Shoe Hospitality, Lowlands. Mm-hmm. They're there, and they're creating different restaurants, different content within each different restaurant instead of, kind of cookie cutter. Let's put it in the mall. Let's put it over here. Let's put it over there. As a lead up to Steny's Wings, do you find one kind of ethnic food tends to be more spicy than some of the others? There's something jump out and say,
I enjoy Thai food, Asian food, spicy food that way more because it's typically natural ingredients and the spice grows on you. It's not like an immediate, It's, you can tell it's coming on, and if I'm adamant about finishing the meal, I can take a pause, let myself cool down a little, wipe my brow, and get back into it.
Are you a brow sweater when you have hot food?
I have learned, yes, I can sweat profusely if it's truly hot. If I can tear up, that's my favorite.
Well, speaking of tearing up, I think we're gonna pause for just a second.
Sweet.
We're gonna get the ribs. We're gonna get the wings.
Take whatever you got.
We don't have any ribs today. We're gonna get the wings warming in the oven, and then we're gonna see how spicy the Scary Jerry's actually are. So give us a minute. Be right back. All right, so we have our wings. Mm-hmm. So we have, these are lemon peppers, which we'll give to Tom. Tom, you can have those. Don't eat them all because I may have to try them. And here are the Scary Jerry's.
They don't look that scary.
So Justin was saying it looks like they're more dry rub, and that's not as scary as the wet. So why don't you're the guest and the pro here, so why don't you go ahead and grab one. All right, I'm going to take one too. Oh, God. Here we go. All right, you ready?
Yeah, for sure.
Here we go. I can taste the heat on my burning tongue.
I'm still waiting.
Well, I'm not in your league at all. Oh, we have a little blue cheese if you want it.
I mean, I don't need to mask the flavor. Or the heat.
Neither do I. Okay, I think I know what your verdict is going to be.
It's there. It's there.
But it's not on
I can tell. Someone's probably going to watch this and tell me that my face went immediately red or something. Sure, maybe that was a reaction. I can feel warmth in my face a little bit, but it's not to the point where I'm intimidated to take another.
Mm-hmm. Tom, how about the lemon pepper?
Very, very good. I tried the blue cheese stuff on it too. That's good. I like it without it better.
Okay, so Steny's did okay. Mm-hmm. We didn't tell them we were doing this for a show, so I'll let them know that we actually used their stuff and nobody got sick. Yet. So,
You want it to be whatever they authentically offer.
Yeah. I can feel it on my tongue, that's for sure.
If I have all of these by the end of it, I'll be a little bit uncomfortable for sure.
Oh, there's the sweat going up.
I'm feeling the warmth coming.
So I wanted to talk. Let's talk about a little bit about #MKE. How I got to know you. So I'm perusing the internet, and I said, "Oh, there's a list of the top influencers on Instagram." I said, well, "Let me check it out." And I look it up. I'm going down the list. I didn't see my name. I said, and I go down. I got more followers than him and him and him. So I contacted you, and I said, as politely as I possibly could, you know me.
Yeah.
I said, I think I might should be included on this list. And you took a look and said, yeah, I think you should be.
Yep.
And your reason was?
I couldn't tell you were a Milwaukee creator.
Right. And because when I first started doing this, around the same time as you, like 2014, I was just writing a cooking blog. Mm-hmm. And the whole Milwaukee thing has kind of morphed over time. Where I'm from D.C., that's my hometown, always will be. But this is my adopted place where I will probably live until, I'll probably live in this building until they carry me out. I've learned to love the city. It's an easy place to get around. People complain about traffic and parking, and I start laughing because, I'm from D.C. and I've been to Chicago. So it's just an easy place. It's less expensive.
It's livable and it's affordable are two words that I like in a positive way associated to the city.
Absolutely. Now, are you going to be at Dumplingfest this week?
Maybe.
Okay.
Just hearing about it now.
Oh.
As a guy who's so tapped into the city, I don't know about everything.
Well, some friends of mine are the coordinators of it, and so
Where's Dumplingfest happening?
right over here in Cooperage, where Boone and Crockett
Oh,
is.
nice. Yeah. Far enough away from the Summerfest traffic chaos.
Yeah. But Sherry Tran, who's a friend, is the head of Elevation, which is
Eric's in
Elevate
that too, yeah.
Asians. Eric Kendi, good friend. And so the judges are Judge Mosley, Adam Pollock. I forget who the other one is. There's three. So so Kyle Birch is going to be there. Kyle Knoll from Birch. Amalinda, Gregory Leone, Dan's going to be there. A lot of the big time chefs, and a lot of the smaller places, a lot of some of the Asian places. And I was just at Polish Fest this past weekend,
Nice.
Helping Joe Parajecki cook, and he's going to be there. And they're making don't listen to this if you're out there, because this is supposed to be a surprise. But he's making a dessert dumpling where he's putting fruit in it with a little fruit compote sauce on it.
Okay.
And Sherry was telling us, we've never had a sweet dumpling before. I said, well, people will be talking about it.
By the way, by Wing 3, I'm feeling it.
Are you? Tom, can you put a little lemon pepper one on there, please? You can grab your fingers.
Which one is which?
This is the lemon pepper.
Those are all lemon.
I just want a wing.
I want one wing.
I thought we were sharing these.
We are sharing them. Sharing.
I had my one.
Just because if you have more, that doesn't mean we're not sharing. It just means one of the things that I did not know about you, and reading about you, is that you have a GIF site, GIF, and you make GIFs. So talk about that, because that to me is the numbers there are fascinating, and we'll get into your social media numbers in a minute too.
Yeah. I am slightly overwhelmed by the heat now. Cool. The Giphy thing started in 2018, back when it was Twitter, and they did Twitter chats regularly, and professionals would come together, have open conversations about a given topic, and somebody in there was using GIFs of themselves. And I thought that was pretty cool and stood out. So I looked into how to do it, and I was genuinely just going to make them so that I had access to my own GIFs that I could use. Then I saw a way that you could submit yourself to be a verified artist. And I was on Kiss FM at the time, so I leveraged Kiss FM backdrop, and yes, I was on the website, so I had all the things I needed, but at the time was only a part-time radio guy, and submitted it and got approved, and after about, I want to say, 200 to 300 GIFs uploaded, a lot of reaction-based ones. Things that I would search for, couldn't find a good option for or reaction for, and I would make it so there was an option out there. I checked the other day, and I'm now at 400 million Giphy views worldwide. It's basically anywhere you would search for something. If I'm one of the results, I assume, because they don't clearly say it, that counts as a view, and some are short, so the replays are pretty fast. I don't think once someone uses it and posts it out there, I think that metric is gone. I think it's truly within the search results is what that refers to.
Can you just repeat that number again, please?
It's like 400 million.
400 million.
Yeah, I'm close to halfway to a billion, but
That's an amazing number. And so, let's talk about your. You don't really trumpet your numbers, but I will because it's my show. I can do what I want.
Sure.
So you have, I know you have over 180, I think 181,000 TikTok followers.
Yep.
Now that is huge because that's probably half the adult population in the city of Milwaukee.
Right.
So you're obviously getting people from all over to where I said. Instagram is like 17,000 and something. You're also on YouTube. You're on all the different social medias. So you have made for yourself a nice niche where you're promoting the city. Your content is getting out there. People see something from you and say, okay, I got to check it out. So I see your videos. And I got that. All right, let's see what he's talking about now. So you were at Market?
Milwaukee Night Market.
Yeah.
Yep.
You were there, and then, so you're at this, which makes me understand why you're not coming to Dumplingfest.
There's a lot going on in the city at any given moment.
All right, we'll see if we get you to Dumplingfest. So this is a little milder for me. The lemon pepper. Is there one more? I'm gonna get one more. And just get yes.
Yeah, what is it? These are considered drummies. Those are called flats, I think.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of the flats. Just, I think it's harder to get to the meat you want to eat, whereas the drummy is just like, get into it. I mean, I'll eat the flats too, don't get me wrong, but
It's not so bad.
I think if I did 12 of these, or whatever a full order is, it's 8. I don't even know anymore.
No, 6 is a full order at Steny's.
Well, 6, I would be, by the 6th one, if I'm eating it in quick succession, I will be sweating by the end of it, for sure. Tiered up eyes, which is what I truly go for, I don't think so. It's my favorite. I'll go into Asian restaurants. As a white male, I present as, I want spicy, but not really. So I actually have to order it like, I'm trying to get your spiciest thing. I do a series. I'm going to film myself eat it. And they're still skeptical when I say all this. I say, I want you to make me cry. And then they get a big smirk on, and then they go back, and they come out, and they put it down like, they're going to mess you up. And I'm like, all right, let's find out. And only, I want to say 3 come to mind that were truly pushing my limits.
Well, you're a better man than I am. I'm not sure I could. But I'd say this was not horrific.
Yeah.
This was pretty good. So we've been talking for about a half hour or so. So I usually try to keep these close to that time frame. Anything else you want to talk about?
You're trying to figure out what's going on in the city for the last 4 years. The word #MKE on 7 platforms. Your choice, I'll be there. I've included 5 events within the city of Milwaukee people can check out. And a large part of what I do, and it's not always obvious, I'm trying to avoid the mainstream events. I may include one, like Polish Fest or something.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find the stuff from event hosts and organizations that, frankly, aren't the best at promoting themselves on social media. Find it and include it and give it a nice little extra push.
And that goes back to where you first started, was you were trying to find events and they weren't being promoted. So you're providing a service to people out there. And I would submit that even though Polish Fest is at Summerfest, it's only half the grounds. Yeah. And so it's not that it's huge, but it is something that people should support and go to and should know about. So But anyway, so some of these other things that are going on in the city, and then the summer. I mean, Milwaukee just opens up, and there's so many things going on. If you look at the list of festivals, and it's 5 pages
City
long.
of festivals.
Yes,
That's the thing.
So I want to thank JMatt for coming and eating these hot wings.
Thank you for providing the hot wings. That was a great idea. I like the little tingle I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit more than a tingle. But we do these shows weekly, where we talk with local chefs, restaurateurs, foodies, and non-food influencers, social media content creators. That's Twitter. I don't think of myself as an influencer either.
A lifestyle content creator.
There you go. I'm just a guy who likes to eat and have people come over and cook me food.
That's great.
But I appreciate the support. Please like and subscribe. And thanks again for watching Munching Around Milwaukee.
That was well timed.
Thanks, Tom.
That's my input for today.
We'll see you next time.